Hello, welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. On the side I am in the face of the earth is morning, and today is Monday Morning Matters. Welcome everyone to this live broadcast, and thank you for hooking up with Monday Morning Matters. We are so glad you are part of this live broadcast. This broadcast is live. Okay, so most of my friends I want to reach out to me now. I'm hooked up with Monday Morning Matters. I am Niyi Dunmade. I'm the certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting Limited. Okay, we help churches grow healthier through empirical assessments, trainings, and strategic blueprint. With me is my darling wife, consulting partner, Mrs. Ruth Dunmade, a trained and certified family clinician and mind coach. A big thank you to all those people who have liked our page, who have subscribed to our YouTube channel. Last week we got a lot of likes in some of our posts. Thank you for your comment. Thank you for reaching out to say thank you, Pastor Niyi, and thank you for those who watched our broadcast content and shared to their loved ones. This month, February, in all the 4 Mondays, we're going to be looking at something very critical and very essential, especially in the times we live in, the days of the pandemic, is the pains of church decline part 2. We will just discuss and I'm sure you're going to be able to listen to some salient points. Be attentive because some helpful tips we're going to come your way. We are in a pandemic, and pandemic really poses a lot of crises, a lot of disruption, a lot of interruptions. But one of the things I want to say is that in the pandemic, there's still opportunity. Crisis, if you have a good mindset, equals opportunities. Okay, pandemic brings about a crisis, but that crisis can be turned to opportunities. So why do churches decline? We're going to just say some things why churches decline, because one, pandemic has actually made some churches to decline. You know, some of our members, they've gone to safe zone, maybe their family house in the village. Some people have moved from rural areas and small towns to the cities. So the migrations of people from these things usually affect our attendance. You know, last week we said so much. Please, if you have not, you have missed the part 1, you need to go back to our social media handle and get some of those things to build up from where we are going to continue. So what's your take on the migration of people?
Wow. You see, life happens. Before I go on, I need to say good morning,
Yeah,
good afternoon, and good evening. Although we are here and we are saying Monday morning matter. So it's morning over here. So it's good to have you here today. I'm so glad to be amongst the living, and I'm so happy about what the CEO Magnicraft Consulting is doing. Well done. Great job. So concerning migration, you see, there will be opportunities for people. A lot of persons will be moving from one place to another because of new life opportunity, because of new goals they want to achieve. So because of that, automatically what happens is that if, for instance, someone said, come over to my place and I'll help you put some things together before you find your fittings. The next thing you see someone, the person is not thinking about the church he or she was attending, especially when you have seen life and life has hit you left, side, and center. The next thing you're thinking, I need a better life. I need somewhere that I can grow better. The next thing is someone is migrating, and these are part of life. People will move from rural area to urban areas. Some people will move from even urban areas to rural areas. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be vis-a-vis, because it depends.
And that affects our attendance.
Yeah, is that it affects our attendance automatically, because people want better life for themselves. So when such kind of things happen, sometimes it could cause pain.
Yeah. So it's also harder than ever to manage volunteer, because you can't really be certain that so person is going to show up in church because of the pandemic effect. People are going to move to where it's going to be safe, where their food security will be guaranteed. The pandemic is really ravaging so badly, and we need to understand that volunteers might not be able to give you so much as of them. Now, there's a survey I did of about 600 and over 600 pastors, and I just want to look at some of the data I want to share with you. All right, now the church health side, you can see that evangelism and discipleship are very, very points of concern for us. Evangelism and discipleship. Okay? But one of the things I want to just say quickly is we need to understand our church growth or decline vis-a-vis the season that church is going through. You know, just like the world today, we have rainy season and we have dry season. Okay? We have rainy season, we have dry season. And the truth about it is that if you don't take advantage of the rainy season for certain things, you will miss of
certain opportunity for planting,
and
sowing.
The dry season too has its own opportunity.
Yeah.
And if you miss that golden opportunity, so you need to understand your church's growth and decline pattern. Okay, with season, there's a time in the calendar that people naturally will flow into your church. There's a time in your calendar that people will go for summer or people will not come to your church. And so you need to make sure that your assimilation system is tight in those areas.
Sure.
Do you have any other period in the year that people just rush to church?
Yeah.
Time like Easter.
Yeah, Easter. Some people want to travel.
I can remember
They want to go
crossover.
The same thing.
People just rush to church.
There are some churches that will see massive increase, and there are some churches that will see massive decrease because people are moving from places to places. You see, a lot of us, probably because of the pandemic, people don't travel the way they love to travel. But even at that, people are still traveling. So because of this pandemic, some persons will go for holiday. You know, some persons, they've been enclosed and they've been planning how they will go for holiday, relax with their family. It may just be out of the city, it may not be out of the country. It just be out of the city to one secluded area where they and their family can just live or have a sense of fresh relief. So people will always move. And you see, as a church, you need to understand that season, because if you don't understand that season, you'll be frustrated. Yes, you just start people are not not because they are not showing up. For instance, when it's holiday season, people may travel and go for summer, and at the end of the day, you're looking for sister A, brother B, brother C. You're not seeing them. It's not because they are backslided or because their love for God is waxing cold. Sometimes some person needs to ease off and relax. So you, as a church leader, administrator, and staff, you need to monitor how it moves in your church, because when you do that, you'll be able to take stock of what is happening.
And take advantage of the potential growth that church has.
Yeah.
I love that. You know what? How do you know your seasons? Just look at your church in the last 10 years. What areas, what months, what time of the year do you have an influx of people flowing into your front door? You can also do that for your back door. What time of the year do you have people dropping out of the back door, so that you can do something? You know when to do some campaign against blocking the back door from getting people out. All right? And when people leave your back door, don't wait for them to tell you to reach out to them. Like what we did in last Monday, the shepherd went for the lordship.
Yeah.
He didn't wait for the lordship to call and say, sorry, I need help, I'm in the wilderness. Yeah. You have to reach out and get all your sheep together. God requires 100%.
Yeah.
And if you are not going to take care of the souls God has committed into your hands, then you don't expect God to place more souls into your hands. There's one statistics I want to share, which is very, very important.
The statistic master.
Yes, I'm a very data-driven. I love data so much. And you see, the growth potential of the church will be hinged on your willingness to reach out to family units. You're a family clinician. I'm sure you'll be able to resonate some of these things.
Yeah.
Okay? Now, when I mean reach out to family units, you're not supposed to reach out to a sex or a male or a female. In fact, when you have a church that 95% of the attendants are women, we need to question what that pastor is doing.
95% may just be an extreme case.
No, we have churches like that.
Yeah.
Who have up to 90-something%
women.
Only women. But we need to have that approach, outreach approach to family units. When I mean family unit, the father, the mother, the children, even the maids.
Yeah,
I've seen churches who have domestic support class, discipleship class for them. Okay?
Yeah.
Now this survey is so interesting. The survey found out that when a child in a family unit goes to church, have and becomes a Christian,
Yes,
the
the
child becomes
first
a Christian,
person
the
to,
first person to
yeah,
become a Christian in that family, you have 3.5% probability that every other person
everybody
in the family will
will
become
become believers.
believers,
Yeah,
become Christians.
yeah,
Okay, 3.5%. Then, but if the mother,
yeah.
mothers are very,
They
very
have
influential.
a level of
When the
influence.
mother becomes the first person to become a Christian, you have 17. So the thing has
17.
moved from
3%
3.5% to 17%.
Yeah.
Okay, 70% probability for every other person in the family to become Christians.
Yeah.
Now, when it now went to the head
Ha!
of the
The
family,
fathers. The fathers.
okay, the research and the survey says that when the father was the first person to become a Christian in the family unit, there is a 93% chance or
Yeah.
probability
93%.
that every other person, you see, the truth about it is that where the leader goes is where everybody goes. The husband or the father is the leader of the pack, of the family. And so 93%, we need to make sure that our outreach effort is to the father, is to the mother, is to the, because we don't know who God is going to touch to become a Christian.
Yeah. So when I heard and I saw that,
I think it's difficult to get the fathers to.
in fact, these are our fathers. Our fathers, wake up, wake up. You see, our fathers, we need to really wake up. Daddies, brothers, wake up. Because there are so much responsibility and expectations from us, from you fathers, sorry to say. So fathers, I don't know what some fathers are really doing. I know some are really trying their best. Some fathers are really living up to their expectation. Some fathers are doing well. However, we notice that, you see, this research just opened my eyes like, okay, so that means our fathers have this big influence.
Big responsibility.
Yes. Big influence. Because when you say this is where we are headed to, you just see everyone aligning. And it's easier when the father is leading the pack. You see alignment from both the wife, both the children, especially when they are coming from a healthy family. We are not talking about an unhealthy home. We are talking about healthy homes. So please, I would want to use this opportunity to beg our fathers, wake up to your responsibility. Gather your children. Gather your wife.
You can see the relationship with what the family units to church
growth. Yes, to church growth. So you now, there are certain locations your church may be in that you may not have access to the fathers immediately. Probably if it's in a school setting, you may see a lot of that one. Reach those ones. Launch out your net. Take them. When you see a place around the market, business area, you may see a lot of women around there. Catch that net. But please don't forget to catch the head, the fathers. Because
and I want to add to that survey or that research. You see, when you have the father who going to church, there's a guarantee that the family will not triple out of the back door.
It's possible, yes.
You understand?
Very
because
important point.
In as much as the church is doing their stickiness on the glueness to get them to church, the father also doing it. Because the frequent use of the back door kills momentum and morale for church growth. It kills it. You can imagine if God is blessing you with 20 souls every week and you have 30 people going out of the back door. It demoralizes. It kills the momentum. Okay, loss of people through the back door, friends over time. You see, that's why most of our sisters sometimes they stay in the church and they don't see brothers in your church and they begin to go outside because the back door has been so porous.
Yeah, because if the brothers leave, the sisters will be there waiting for more brothers to come. So there's an opportunity for brothers. Please stay. Stop leaving. So you connect with your life partner. Yeah.
This February 14th is going to be good for us.
Oh, for a lot of church. Use this opportunity.
Now, one of the things another thing we want us to deal with now is, those days the culture. We said last week Monday, the cultural Christianity has reduced. Okay, where you have Sundays being a sacred day. Everybody wants to go to church. So the boomers, okay, want to go to church even when they've not given their life to Christ. But the generation X, Y, and Z right now, they are not they are not seeing the sacredness of Sabbath day or Sunday as you might take it. So there is an increase in consumerism. I don't know if there's a word like that in the
We
dictionary.
Google it. Google it.
Consumerism.
Google it.
That's a consumer mentality culture.
Yeah.
Where you want to become a church member based on what you want instead of based on what you want to contribute.
Yeah.
All right. So we need to get our people to understand that being a part of a church, the place for service, the place for
support,
contribution, the place to make some impact, so that we can make an impact in the community.
Yeah. So you know, while I was thinking about that, I was saying, is it possible that everybody in a local assembly has something to contribute? Is it possible that everybody has to contribute something?
Like saying your body, all your body, every part of your body has something to contribute. If they don't have anything to contribute, that thing will just be cut off.
Yeah.
Okay, every part, cell, nerve, vein, heart, the systems, cell, everything has it, and they interact. If they interact because they are part of the body.
Yeah. So you, even though you are not a leader of that local assembly, even though you are not a worker, even though you are not a pastor, if you just say, I'm just a member, I'm just a congregational member, you see, there is a lot of things you too can contribute. At least one smile by at the neighbor sitting close to you is a contribution. Not only that, if you come to church and someone is seated close to you, as a person, as an individual, not because you're a churchy person, you should be able to connect with the person. Hey, brother, sister, oh, my name is this, that. Before you know, you strike conversation and you are contributing one way. And you know that is how friendship starts. That someone just connected with me, oh, exchange contact. Hey, I didn't see you today, my seat partner. Hey, I didn't, and that is how the church unit.
Once you have, that's also the way you know when somebody is not in church, because everybody's part of the body.
So you go to church, don't go sit down in one place. Try to contribute something.
When you are not there, you'll be felt, or they will know that somebody is not there.
Okay, sorry. You see, with this, I read a story just some days ago of a lady that is living alone. She was living alone. And do you know what? For days, her neighbors, people around her never saw her. The mails kept coming. She kept owing her landlord. Her bills kept gathering. And nobody knew that this lady was dead inside the house. Her TV was on for almost 2 weeks. Nobody went to check, why is this TV on? Because I think, and probably I'm assuming, it's like this lady was living a lone life, so people don't interact with her. Even in that compound, it was
said they don't know that she's at home.
Yeah, even in that compound, they said children play lots around, noise. So they didn't even hear anything. Do you know that lady died for days? She began to stink. People still did not observe that there is something wrong until when they noticed that it's almost how long? Over several weeks. They now had to come. Okay, it's time for us to evacuate you, remove you from here because you've not been paying your rent. Your rent is due. It was when they came,
broke the
house, and they entered. They noticed that this lady.
I think I'm remembering that I read that story.
Yeah, this lady was already dead for days. Nobody came. That means no friend, no family member, no colleague.
Let's reach out to one another.
Let's reach out.
You cannot know what someone is going through until you reach out. Okay, you are not seeing somebody in church. Make a call, make a visit, reach out. Don't wait for them to say they should come and call or visit. Go reach out to them. Another thing is the aged actually have some health challenges, and because of the pandemic, they don't come to church. But find a way to be in touch with them. And we also said that we should have a strategy to bring back that sacredness of you having time with God on Sundays or on a worship service regularly or weekly. Because the changing generational culture is affecting attendance in a bit. So there's a massive culture shift to attending church, and it's understanding its importance, and we need to emphasize that. I think one of the things that our church leadership need to do We need to demand this commitment from people.
We
And
need,
be disciplined. A disciple cannot be a disciple without some discipline.
that is what we are
And then
talking
we need
about,
to
discipleship.
get some commitment.
Discipleship.
I also put some statistics that the reason for this decline is 2 areas that are
Been neglected.
which is what?
Evangelism and discipleship.
Let's get back to those 2 basics, because that is the 2 great. That is what that's the mandate of the church, to make disciples. We are not called to make converts. We are called to make disciples. So the fact that you are having 400 converts does not mean that you have had pass mark.
Wow.
There should be some rejoicing, but the goal is to convert them disciples. The goal is to make sure that they are established. The goal is to make sure that they are growing in faith.
Growing in
the
Very
Lord.
important.
All right, growing in the Lord. Okay, there's a difference between decline in churches and decline in Christianity. Okay, there can be decline in our churches and Christianity is increasing.
Yeah.
There can be increase in our churches and Christianity is decreasing.
Yeah.
You can have our churches increasing and the people who make heaven is decreasing.
Wow.
So we need to ensure that we are getting discipleship as a mainstream of establishing converts in the church.
Discipleship, in fact, I need to say, so I remember those days when I gave my life to Christ. We had this, they call it discipleship class, where you go, you study, someone is teaching you, someone is holding you by the hand, say this is it. Okay, one-on-one discipleship. Oh, I can just remember one of my disciples, may he so rest in peace. He was that person that said, Ruth, what are you doing right now? I'll tell you, when I got into the university, I will have some research to do. I am stranded. I'll call him and say, sir, see, they told me to do a research on this uncanny movement. Out to today, before he does, he always called me uncanny movement. Because
so that impact.
Yeah, that impact. He will help me do research. Immediately I come back from school, he gives me all the documents that I should go and study. That is a good research. Now, even while he was helping me do the research, he was able to get some good information. He was my discipler. When I wanted to get married, he was part of those people that said, sir, this is what is happening to me. Please, I think as a church, we should go back to it. Who are you mentoring? Who are you coaching? Who are you discipling? Who are you carrying by the hand and say, this is the way. This is what I have gone through this moment. Jesus was a good example of a discipler. He carried his disciples. He said, look at me. When I was naked, look at me.
He ate with
them.
He
prayed with them. He slept. He cried with them.
They addressed some
personal issues in their lives. Because he gave them that opportunity for them to know that.
To see that side of
him. So these days, all disciples, we need to be examples of believers.
Dangerous. Sorry, I just want to add this. It's dangerous for our churches to be growing without not having the needed disciples.
Yeah, okay. The number, yes.
You can imagine you having crowd, but you don't have people that can disciple the 12s in the church. Very, very dangerous.
So because of that, sir, that is why when offenses come, because people are not rooted in Christ. When pain comes, people are not rooted in Christ. People don't understand seasons. People don't understand what Christianity is about, what serving God is about, that there is a time for tribulation. You see them falling.
Suffering.
Yeah, there's a time for suffering. There's time you have to go through some challenging moments. And you see people just falling away.
And then they go through the back door.
They go through the back door easily. Because one of the reasons is because
they are not properly established.
Yeah, very important. Very important.
When you have a tsunami, sometimes the palm tree, because the palm tree is well established, it might bend, it might, but it's still very firm. So we need to get back to discipleship. We get back to empathy. And the thing is, most of our churches need to focus on the back door too. We focus on the front door because of
they keep coming. They keep coming. They keep coming. Yeah.
But we need to make sure that our focus is also on the back door. Pastors, church planters, church leaders, we need to know what they are planting. I've said it in a very sarcastic way. You can plant a corn on a fertile ground, but if you don't have the needed planting and watering skills to watch that corn to grow and yield fruit, or that palm tree to grow, you might be shocked that that corn will turn to weeds. No, it will turn to another plant. Even beans is even very, you are even trying to glorify. It will turn, you just want that church has turned to an empire, or church has turned to a business, or church has turned to an organization.
Cults.
All right? Or a cult, but it's still having a name church. But we need to be careful. What are we planting? Are we planting, are we doing such spiritual activity with a good planting and watering skills? Because in 1 Corinthians 3 verse 6 is it Paul planted, Apollos watered, and God caused the increase. So the increase is dependent on your planting and watering skills. Planting and watering skills. Planting and watering skills. We need to wrap up now, because we have about to hit our 30 minutes. We would like to make it within half an hour.
Sorry, before we leave, there is
we're not leaving.
We are not leaving. The point I want to make is concerning family tree is changing. Before now we say father, mother, children. These days,
family is becoming complex.
It's becoming complex, complicated. As a family clinician, these are the things you see. You see that a woman is with her husband, something happened, the man is gone.
Yeah, there are more divorces.
They are now the man is gone, and that is by death now.
Okay.
Yeah, and the man is either gone by divorce. And you see, if he's gone by death, probably the woman needs to remarry, or the man needs to remarry. And at the end of the day, we are not getting to see blended homes. Somebody left you for years, 10 years. He's not coming back. They've done everything. Return your the bride price, everything. You're still holding the woman back. You see, those kind of things are the things church should start looking at. What will people do when they start going through this transitional moment? Will you allow them? Because when you don't allow them, I have done everything for this home. I have done everything. He has gone for 10 years. He has not returned. But I need to move on. Yeah. So what does the church do during this moment, so that you don't lose a member? It's not because they are losing their spirituality. Some people just need to move on. Single parenting is increasing. How do you treat single parents when they come to your congregation? Before you say mother, father, children, you must concentrate here.
The family structure is becoming very complex. I was trying to do a survey in the church, and I put
bisexual,
transgender, and the leadership were uncomfortable. But the truth about it,
they are coming.
They are coming to our church.
They are coming.
Okay, and you have to take a stand and be aware.
Yeah, be aware
that they are there.
Yes.
Now there's another statistic I want to share. 96%, almost 96% of Christians are not sharing their faith.
Sorry.
So there is a cultural Christianity that is not healthy. Postmodernism is fast creeping in, and we need to infuse our world, or colonize our world with the super culture of the gospel. But you see, less than 5% of Christians cannot change that. We need more people to go evangelize. We need more people to go online and share
infiltrate, yeah.
Okay, share the gospel. The two areas that has brought the church to a decline, to a dying point, is the weaknesses in evangelism and discipleship. All right. The question I want to ask is, how many hours averagely does your church evangelize weekly? How many hours averagely does your church evangelize weekly? How many people in your church members? Your church is 200. How many of them are actually engaging in gospel conversation, whether physically or online, weekly? What is the cost of discipling a convert? You see, when you don't know the cost, God won't even give you more converts.
Wow.
What is the cost of discipling one convert? And how are you willing as a church to pay that price? To process them, to establish them, to give them the resources they need to get grounded in the Lord. Most church discipline and setup or polity is a function of the state of discipleship. When I mean discipleship, coaching, mentoring, Christian education, stewardship, they are all embedded in discipleship.
Yeah.
Church growth should not be about making converts, but making disciples. Let's emphasize on evangelism and discipleship, okay? And let's measure that, because that is the main
Very important.
commandment
Yeah.
that Jesus gave to the church.
Yeah.
Say, go into the world and make disciples of all nations.
Make disciples.
Okay, let's avoid that
disciples.
failure of evangelism and discipleship in our churches, or else we have all brought church decline as a norm in our church. Now, let's don't also reduce making disciples to making converts. They are two different things. In fact, you cannot even make converts.
As
Your
a
role is
matter,
to preach,
it's
and
God.
God breaks the convert.
Yeah.
Your own role is to make the converts. Let's don't reduce making disciples to making converts.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing is that we need to get more disciples in the church,
so
that you
disciples.
can have more one-on-one mentoring, coaching, and teaching and disseminating of this super culture attitude that we all want to see in our churches. Then also, let's don't settle for attendance. The fact that your attendance is growing does not mean that everything is okay.
Sure.
That's why sometimes you need a church consultant. Let's come and help you. The fact that your church is growing does not mean your church is doing well.
Yeah.
It's just like saying somebody is obese and say he's becoming fatter and he say he's growing taller. You're enjoying your life healthy. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't always work like that. Church is only going to be effective when it's reaching out to the community.
Yeah.
Please feel free to share this video on the social media. You have any question, please reach out to us. My wife and I are part of the chatting forum on all our social media. You're a pastor, you are having some of these pain, challenging moments. Let's rub minds together. We can exchange some resources with you to see how you can get over some of this pain, some of these challenging moments, and come out strong. Because the truth about it is that I don't want your church to die. Churches really do die.
Churches
just like
die.
businesses also fold up.
Yeah.
So let us see how we can help your church with the needed resources, with the needed input, so that your church can work strong.
Yeah.
In the truth about it is that in a famine, you can actually work strong.
Yeah.
You can actually get so better and better and better in a pandemic. So please reach out, like our page, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and let us hear the feedback. If you're watching us online, please drop a comment, like some of this page, and I will be so glad. Share it to a church worker, a church leader, a church pastor, and I'll be glad.
Indeed.
God bless you so
God
much.
bless
Last words
you.
from you.
Okay, please, I want to encourage your pastors, leaders, and church workers. Not because someone packaged and looking all beautiful, all handsome, gorgeous, that means that person is a mature believer. Came to church, you're shouting hallelujah, praise God. Anytime the pastor is preaching, the person is increasing what does not mean that person is already a disciple. So we need to follow up. Sometimes most of us cover in the guise of I am a mature believer, but you are still going through the process. Please, I want to beg you, learn to go through the process of discipling.
Thank you so much. Thank you, my wife, for being part of this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. So if you have any question, please hit the chat button. We're going to get back to you. As usual, my name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the founder and the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting. I'm the host of Monday Morning Matter. My wife is also my consulting partner. She's a family clinician and a mind
consulting
coach.
Partner.
So please reach out to us. We can help you out and see how you can move forward from where you are.
Yeah.
Please, I want to just put up my number on the screen so that you have any questions, please reach out to us on all these numbers. Share this content. Don't just enjoy this content alone. Share it and God will bless you. Reach out to us and we're going to get across to you in no time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you. Have a beautiful week ahead. Bye.